Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Zero Hero from Sometimes NFTs. Today I am making a little video to show everyone how to set up an airdrop using the Atomic Dropsx contract on Blocks.io. There is a fantastic Medium article that was put together by this gentleman, Joseph, and without this, I would not have been able to figure it out. So gives a little bit of an introduction here as to what they were trying to accomplish. You can read over this when you have time, and we're just going to get right into it. So, assuming that you've been doing this for a little while, you probably already have a collection set up. You most likely have a schema set up. You may or may not have a template set up yet, but you do need to have all three of these ready to go before you start this process, because you'll need that template ID number in a little bit here, and I'll show you. So once you've got these set up, the next thing that you need to do is actually add Atomic Dropsx as an authorized account in your collection. So in my case, it's Sometimes NFT, and I've added them as an authorized account on my collection. The reason you're doing this is because you actually need to send wax for RAM. So I'm sure you know how to do it. If you don't, these instructions are very self-explanatory, so I am going to skip over this. I'm going to give you the meat and the heart of the content. So I will tell you, with all of the drops that I've been doing, I have put 75 wax into the contract. I've minted thousands of NFTs with the ugly Christmas sweaters we've been releasing. One thing I don't know how to do is check your contract balance to see how much wax is left, but I do know that it doesn't take a lot to mint, and again, I've done thousands at this point. So let's see. Now, the other important part is when you're sending the wax to purchase RAM, you need to put this in the memo: deposit _collection _RAM, and then replace your collection with your collection name. Now, how neat is that? So again, in this case, it would be Sometimes NFT. And as we set this up, I'll show you. So once you've done that, you've deposited your RAM, it's time to actually open up the contract. So you would click on this link, and I've already clicked on it, and it opens it up in a new tab. So here on the right-hand side, it brings you right to the create drop part of the contract. Now again, assuming that you've already added your RAM, it does take a little bit because of the irreversibility time that you have, but now we're going to get right to it. So following along with this, authorized account. This is the account that your collection is tied to. So in my case, that is s3qw.wam. Collection name is, of course, the collection name. So Sometimes NFT. Couldn't fit that S at the end because of the character limit. Now, this next part, you want to copy all of this, everything. So Control C, and this goes in your asset to mint. So I'm going to pop this here. Now for the template ID, it's listed as 1234. What you need to do is go to the template ID of the asset that you're wanting to mint. So in this case, you're getting to see a little preview of Linkara's first minting, first edition of Underwater Sunrise for NFT Super Bowl 2. I'll have my pom-poms out later and get my cheerleader outfit, but I won't scare you all with that. So anyway, you can mint cards before you do the drop. It's all in how you actually set up the template. So let me just click on this real quick. I minted 5, 3 to sell for Link, 2 for him to give away, and then we're going to do an on-demand mint of 245. So I did set a max supply. If you just want this to go on forever, of course you'd leave this as 0 or blank, so it's infinite. So again, got the template set up, and we want to mint 245 of these. So what I need is this number right here, 28469. So we're going to take that, 28469. All right, simple so far, right? And it tells you right here, replace 1234 with the template ID. So now, that's where we are. The next thing we're going to do, and this can be confusing, you'll get an error message if you don't set it up correctly. And that's the one great part about it, is that you can't screw up the contract in terms of getting it activated if you have wrong information in it, or it's not formatted properly. So because we're going to drop 245 of these for free, in the listing price field, you're going to put 0 space null in all capital letters. In the settlement symbol, again, because we're giving this away for free, we're going to do 0, null. A little different than the field above it, but this is the way it should be set up. Now I'll show you real quick. Say you wanted to set these up for 10 wax each. You do want to follow what it says, in the Medium article. So say I wanted to set this up for 10 wax. What I would do, make sure I'm clicked on the right field, 10, you need the 8 decimal points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, space, followed by wax. You can also see in the instructions it talks about dust. In this case, we're just going to focus on wax. So once you've got that set, the settlement symbol is actually going to be different. And for wax, it's 8, wax, or for dust, it's 4, dust. So because I'm going to just quickly show you wax, we click on the right screen again, 8, wax. So that's how you would do it if you wanted to charge. You set it up. Let's see if we can get 100,000. That'd be great. But again, we're giving these away for free. So we're going to do 0, capital null, settlement symbol, 0, no space, null. Now, price recipient is the account that if you were charging, this is the account the funds would be received in. Because there is not any charge for this, either way, you still need to put something, and we'll just put my wallet. Now, auth required, I screwed up the first time I used the contract, and I actually still have one out there. If you check this, this means that only people on a whitelist that you create, which is up here, let's see, whitelist. All right, so it's up here. I'll go over that next time, but basically you set up a whitelist after you set up the contract. Essentially what that does is it means that any wax address that is not on that whitelist cannot make this claim. And that's where I screwed up. So unless you're being very specific, you want to leave this unchecked. All right, so now max claimable is the total amount you want to allow to be claimed for this drop. Again, whether they're paying or not. So because we've already minted 5 and we have a max mint of 250, we're going to set up 245. Now, for account limit, this is set for the people who are claiming it. In this case, we're going to do 1. Because we're giving them away for free, we want people to be able to have a fair shot at it, even though we know people have 10, 12 different wallets and they're claiming it from all of them. Now, let me just skip down here to the account cooldown. And here's step 7. Unless you want to limit, definitely check that out, but I do not use it, and I still have to cancel my other contract. All right. So again, max claimable can be set to 0 for infinite, but if you've set up in your template a max claimable, it will stop at that max claimable number. Count limit, again, how many do you want each account to be able to claim? 1. Now, account limit cooldown is set in seconds. I have not used this, and Joseph says he thinks it's set a set time in seconds for an account to be able to buy it again, like a cooldown period. In this case, we're not going to use it. You do have to put something in each field, so we're going to put 0. Now, if you want to schedule this for a certain time to go live, this is something that I'd never seen before. We need to convert the time you want this dropped to Epoch or Linux time. So I am going to open this in a new tab. Now this drop is being set up for 2 p.m. Central Time, which would be 1 p.m. my time. So when you come to the screen, it'll automatically default to the current time and date, or GMT time. So here, what we want to do is 2:00:00 p.m. and switch it to your local time. Then what we do is hit human date to timestamp, and boom, this is your epoch timestamp. This represents 12/12/2020, 2 p.m. my local time. And actually, the person who I'm setting this up for is an hour ahead of me, so I actually need to make it 1 p.m. my time, so it's 2 p.m. his time. Time zones, they suck. All right, so now, again, 2 p.m. Central Time, I'm in Mountain Time, so this is how it would work. We're going to copy this epoch timestamp, and we are going to pop it right into start time. Now, if you want this to end at a specific time, you would just repeat the process. If you only want this live for an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, a day, what have you, you would then set it up. If you just want all of these to be claimed no matter how long it takes, 0. Now, I will tell you, even Joseph in this article, he mentions display data. I'm sure I entered something in this field, but I have not seen it displayed anywhere, so use this with caution. I can tell you, I don't know what it does, but you have to enter in something. Because it says display data, I just put something related to the NFT. So in this case, I'm just going to put, underwater sunrise, which is the name of the piece. You'll see it appear in the contract, but it doesn't appear anywhere else. So again, don't know what this does, but you do have to have something in here. So now, once you've got all of these set up, you're going to hit submit transaction. And I'm logged in, but I didn't log into Blocks.io, so I'm going to hit this. All right, so now you're logged in, but even though you hit submit transaction, unless you get data below here, you actually haven't created it. So once you've logged in, we're going to hit submit transaction. Success. And here is where we can verify it. Now, if you get a red box with an error message, it will typically tell you which field is missing or what data is incorrect. But because we set this up properly, we're good to go. Now, what we need to do, and I'm going to open this up in a new tab. We are going to go into this transaction because what we need to do is actually find the drop number. So you click on that link, go into the contract, go to traces, and then you're going to scroll down, and the drop ID number that you're looking for, is right here. So this is the number that you need. Now, we'll go back over here, and here he shows you, boom. And here's the end result, which this is pretty cool. Now, this is the generic link minus the 71. So for this, you would take this link, and this is what is going to be used to click on to get to your drop. In this situation, we would replace 71 with 701. So let me just copy this, paste it, 701, enter. And it's still pending irreversibility, so it does take a little bit of time to catch up. But once it does, then the link will be active, and it should be any time. 701. Let's try this again. $20 seconds. Sometimes it doesn't even take the entire time for the irreversibility, but in this case it looks like it is. 3, 2, 1. All right, so now where'd you go? Okay, so I figured out what was going on. The first link that is actually posted in that Medium article is missing the S. I normally copy the other link, or I've already got it saved because I've set up enough of these. So you see here, it just says drop. It should say drops. But when you come here, now you can see this is set up. We have 4 hours and 4 minutes until this goes live. Remaining claims available. This is your drop number. This is the collection. It's a promo for Link. Love Link. Give them some love. But this is it. You're all set. So again, if you were selling this, you would also see your selling price and how many claims are available and all of that. But ultimately, this is the way that you go through it. It's very easy. And if anybody is interested in setting up an authorization required whitelist, just shoot me a message and I can do another video. Again, you have to have all of the wax addresses you want to be able to claim this drop, which is good if you're doing like a mailing list and you only want the people in the mailing list to be able to claim it, unless if somebody gets the link. Because one last little tip: this string up to the number is always the same, so you can actually go in on Blocks.io and see what other airdrops have been set up. I think one of my other ones was 654, if I remember right. Yep. So I've still got 39 of 50 of the special delivery ugly sweaters set up. No end date. Sold 11 of them. Not too bad. and these will go on indefinitely unless I actually cancel the contract. But again, if you're looking to find some of the free drops that are going on, you can sit here, and we're in the 600s and 700s right now for the drops. Otherwise, you can go into the contract, and I will show you that as well next time. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a little bit early for me, and I've had some coffee. Shout out to Land Elephant for asking me about this and leading me to decide to make the video. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Reach out to me on Twitter at sometimesNFTs. Not sometimes NFT, but sometimes NFTs. Or you can join us on our website at sometimesnfts.io. Have a fantastic day. I've got to go shovel because we got snow. Zero Hero is out.